Okay, so today we'll be continuing with our unit 4 that we were seeing right now. So last class till now we were seeing about the SMI version 2 that we had. So version 2 we saw what are the changes that we are looking on. Okay, so what are the different changes that we have in version 1 and version 2, so that we saw. And today we will be looking about SNMP version 2. In detail, you will be looking about the architecture. Okay, so SNMP version 2 architecture. So this is a kind of a picture which you have already seen, right? This picture you would have seen for your SNMP version 1 system architecture, where we had these 5 different messages that your manager and your agent will communicate through. That is a kind of a message passing. So those messages were get request, get next request, get set request, trap, and response. So these were the different 5 messages that we had earlier. So now in version 2 we have the number of requests to be 7. Okay, instead of 5 we have additional messages. So one is inform request. So what this inform request is, whenever two managers are communicating, okay, when a peer-to-peer communication happens, then we can have this inform request. So next is get request. So get request is same as your version 1. So get request will provide a request from the manager to the agent. If the manager wants to know anything about the agent, then he will send the message get request. And the next one is get next request. So get next request is given when we have a bulk of request, or when we have a bulk of responses. When a response is going to be like, for example, if I'm trying to retrieve the roll numbers of the students who have CGPA more than 8, so it will be more, right? You will not get one response, you'll get more than one response. So those kind of things are given by get next request. And the new message that we have in SNMP version 2 is get bulk request. So this get bulk request can be used when you are doing a large data transfer. So as I told you, SNMP version 2, when compared to your SNMP version 1, will allow you to transfer bulk data. Okay, so bulk data transfer is possible in SNMP version 2, and that was not possible in SNMP version 1. So how do we do that bulk data transfer? So that is done by get bulk request. Assume that I am just transferring some data that is available in my PC into a hard disk. So the data that I have in PC, it will be larger, right? The files will be larger. Suppose if I'm just transferring one single file, which is nothing but your syllabus, so if I just transfer it from one device to the other, then it will be a normal data transfer. So when you have a bulk data transfer, like how we do file downloads, right? If you are trying to download a book, then the size might be larger. So something like that. So when you have a larger data to be transferred, then we use get bulk request. So next set request. So set request is given by the agent to the manager. That is the response that the manager gets from the agent. And the response, so any kind of response like the notification response that I've told you. So notification response that we saw in version 1 was trap. Okay, so trap was the message that we used to notify some kind of events that is happening. Like I can say that if the device, a particular agent is down, or if the particular agent is facing some capability issues, okay, it is not able to cope up with the load that it is facing on. So things like that, if you want to notify it to the manager, so then that can be done by the response notification message. So this that is also done by your trap. So both trap and response are uh, doing the same kind of a thing. So as I told you, this works in the application layer of your OSI model. So you can have a peer-to-peer communication that is possible in version 2. Peer-to-peer in the sense manager-to-manager communication. So in earlier version 1, we saw only that manager-to-agent communication. Okay, one single manager will be there. You can communicate it with the different agents that are available in your network. But here in version 2, we have an upgrade. So you can have multiple managers and you can have a communication between two different managers. That is peer-to-peer communication is possible. So there are 7 messages instead of 5 in SNMP version 2. So the two manager applications can communicate with each other at the peer level. So this is what I was telling about. So we had the 5 messages in SNMP version 1. So now we have 7 instead of 5, and the peer-to-peer communication, that is your manager-to-manager communication is possible. So that is an advancement that we have in version 2. So next, this is just theoretical aspects of whatever we saw right now. So get request, get next request, and set request are the same as in version 1. So response is also the same. It is used to generate the response that you get from the agent or from the manager. And then inform request, just a message passing that happens between the manager and the agent. So I think this can be omitted because I've told you already. So next is trap. Okay. Okay, so we can also have trap when we have an exceptional situation. Okay, for example, I'm working on some particular data transfer, and suppose suddenly the network connection is lost. So then that is an exception. We cannot do anything with the connectivity of the network, right? Suppose even you are connected with the Google Meet. So sometimes we face network issues and you just suddenly log out and again you log in. So that problem we are trying to cope up with. So likewise, any exceptional situation that happens in your network, so that can be notified by using a trap. So next topic that we have is structure of management information for the version 2. We have already seen this SMI for version 1. So now this is the SMI that is available in version 2. A few things are same and a few things we will have to learn new. So SMI version 2, which is provided in your RFC 1902. So RFC is request for comment documentation that we have. So it is divided into 3 parts. One is module definition, and second one is object definition, and third one is notification definition. So this notification definition, we didn't have it in version 1. So we that have it in version 2. So model definition and object definition we have already seen. I've given you many examples for object definition, but still we will try to look into each of the things further. So every whatever definitions we give, we have a macro for that. So for module identity definition, we have module type. Then object definition, we have object type, and notification also we have notification type macro. So these macros are created, and whichever object or module or notification message that you are going to transfer, that it will apply on. So we have a set of macro. So remember that macro where we give object name, object type, and then we specify whether it is a read only status of that object, whether it is read only or whether it is writable, all those things, right? So we have predefined macros for all the 3 definitions that we are going to look on. So that macros will help you to define the structure of the management information. So first one is module definition. So module definition will describe the semantics of the information module. So we need to say what every what every object or object in the sense components that we have in the network, right? So what every component will do. So that is done by defining some module. So these modules are defined by the ASN macro. So we have so many macros. So these macros will have a macro name, then a keyword macro, then it will have a begin and end to mark the begin and end of the macro. Then we define what the macro is supposed to do. So to define every macros, we have this module identity. So it describes the semantics, so the meaning. Okay, the meaning of every module that we have is defined by a macro. So next one is object definition. So this object definition to define the objects that we have. So we are using the object type. So object type macro will describe both the syntax and semantics. So as I told you in the previous classes when we saw example for SMI version 1, we had this object type module, right? We specified what syntax it is using. So whether it is using the integer or whether it is using IP address, what data type it is using. So that we used to specify, right? We have this ASN or data type. So the data type can be basic and it can be primitive or it can be a construct. So you can have data types like integer, then octet string, null, object identifier. These are basic. Then we have primitive, and then we have for construct we saw the sequence and sequence of, right? And then we have IP address, gauge, counter, null, all these values. So these kinds of objects, they need whatever the object that you have, they need to follow the syntax that is given in ASN. So what kind of syntax that every object will follow, that depends on how you write the module. So object type defines both the syntax and the semantics. What kind of access right it has got, what is the system name, what is the vendor name, so system running time, so how much time the system is being run, all those things we saw, right? So the object definition defines everything about the object in the sense the modules or the components that we have. So all the components that we have in SNMP, we call them as managed object. I think you remember that. So managed objects are nothing but all the components that we have, that is they are being managed by someone. So this object type defines both the syntax and the semantics of the object. And next one is notification. So notification, in order to do those notification, we have macros. So trap type macro was used in version 1. So as I told you, notification type macro is used in version 2. So this notification type macro will depict both the syntax and semantics. So what happens when if your system is down, and what happens when your system is up after some failure. So those kind of things. Suppose if a system is down, so we will do. Remember, if you could recollect, in the previous class, I told you how the author, the Mani Subramanian, described the way in which different networks are able to troubleshoot themselves. So we saw examples where in US they used artificial intelligence kind of a thing, where the device will troubleshoot itself by understanding the type of error that it faced in the past. Okay, if this kind of error happens, okay, this is how I should troubleshoot it. So if this kind of problem occurs, so how will it troubleshoot it? So without having human intervention, it is able to do it. So how it is able to do it? Because of the notification that it receives. So once a notification comes, it is able to manage itself. Devices are able to manage itself. So that is the use of notification. So as I told you, the SMI is divided into three parts. One is module definition, and the second one is object definition, and the third one is notification definition. So now we will see examples for each. So the general SMI definition. So this picture is a quite lengthy picture, so I couldn't accommodate in the slide. So what you do is you just whenever you are studying, just open your book. So this picture that I am talking about, it is available at page number 324 in Mani Subramanian book, Network Management. So figure number is 6.4. So I'm just moving to that. So this is your picture. So this is your 6.4 figure that I am speaking about. So I hope you are able to view the font. I'm just maximizing it. So this is the SMI definition for your SNMP version 2. So for version 1 we saw already. So now it is version 2. So SMI for the SNMP version 2 will contain three things. One is module, second one is object, and third one is sorry, notification. So this is just what is a so it is the macro name is SNMP version 2 SMI. So you are just beginning it. Then path to the root. So if you could remember this diagram. Okay, so this is how we moved the internet, right? The internet had four objects: directory, management, experimenter. So likewise, so what are the different path? Okay, so the path of the SMI. So that is ORG, private, enterprise, security, SNMP version 2. So this things is added in SNMP version 2. Okay, so the SNMP version 2 is the one which is added here. So that contains SNMP domains, proxy, and module. So this is the root. Okay, so it is directory management, experimental, private, secured, and then you have SNMP version 2, which is further divided into domains, proxy, and modules. So this is what is given here. So the path to the root. So ORG, private, enterprise, security, SNMP version 2. So every path will have the object identifier, and this is the value that this object identifier will have. Okay, so it is ISO 3 and it is Internet 4 and it is private 1. It is Internet 5. So remember the diagram that I gave you. Just see whether I have that presentation. I think I don't have it right now. That is the thing that we saw where how the different we had version 2, right? So in version 2, what are the different interfaces we have? What are the different modules that are added on? So I gave you a pictorial representation. You can refer the previous slides. So in those we have given the object identifier value, that is unique value that each object has. So ORG, the value is ISO 3. So for private it is Internet 4. So this belongs to the internet interface. So those kind of things. So next one is transport domain. So the domain is SNMP domain. So if it is proxy, so what kind of, so this diagram I told you, right? So we have this domain, proxy and module. So those things are defined for SNMP version 2. So for SNMP version 2, we have domain, we have proxy, and we have modules. So the next thing is module identity. So first one that we saw is the um, okay, sorry. So first one that we saw was your module definition. So these are the different objects that we have, and next you will have the module definition. So these module, you will have to specify what components you will have it in the module and what will be the values of those components. This is just a short description. We have not defined all the modules that we have here. So this is just how a module will look like. So this is your model identity. This is your macros. It will begin, it will end, and you will have to provide all the informations that are regarding with the modules. So next one is the object identity. So whatever objects that you have. So I can say this SNMP version 2 is an object. So what that SNMP version 2 object will do. So that we will specify it inside the object identity macro. So whatever clauses you have and the corresponding values. If you could remember the status, we had the value as read only, or whether it is in execution, or whether it is in halt, all those situations, right? So what kind of values that each clause will contain. And the next one is uh, the syntax that you provide for the object. So what syntax it will follow is your ASN. So ASN syntax is what all the objects, whether it is an SNMP version 2 or version 1, will follow. So next is object type. So specify the macros for the object, and then we specify the macros for the notification. So this is a general how the SMI structure will look like. So you will have object, and you will have notification, and you will have module identity macros. So all the three macros put together, they form the SMI. And whatever we saw in the beginning, so these are just the entry point to the SMI. And then I just want to show you what is the different keywords that are introduced in SNMP version 2. Okay, so whatever keywords that we had already, so that can also be used, and you can also have a new kind of keywords that is displayed. So if you see that we had this counter, right? So counter is a data type where the values increment every time. It starts from 0 and the maximum value is 2 to the power of 32 minus 1. And when it reaches the maximum value, it reinitializes to 0. So now this counter is replaced as counter 32. So this uh, variable was not available in version 1, so now it is available in version 2. So next we have counter 64 also. So these kinds of keywords that we have in version 1 and version 2 can be, there is some keywords can be available in both the versions. For example, this begin. So begin indicates the beginning of your macro, right? So this is available in both version 1 and version 2. So we have these kinds of new keywords that are available. So this is your maximum access. So maximum access was the minimum. So this module. So all those things. Okay, object identity, object type. So object type was what we were looking earlier, and then object identity is newly introduced. Next we have object group, that is grouping different objects that have a same working principle. So this is this network address. This is what I was searching for. This is a data type that we had in SNMP version 1. So in network address, we had that IP address, entry for the IP address, all those things. But now this is not available in version 1. Instead, you have only IP address that is available. But we don't see, you can see this here. Yes, we have this only IP address, but network address is not available in version 2. So we need to check for the compatibilities of all the things that we use in version 1 and version 2. So that will be the topic for tomorrow. So we'll be looking about the complaints, okay, how they are able to cope up all these things, how the different vendors are coping up with the different versions of SNMP. So you can just have a look. So this is also available in your book. Since it is larger, I couldn't accommodate it in the slide. So these are the new keywords. So just they have given it as table. So whether the keywords are available in version 1, version 2, and all those details. So going back for the today's presentation. So please refer this page number 324, that is figure 6.4 for the definition of SMI in version 2. So next, information module. So this information module contains all the information that are related to your network. So like how many devices are connected to the network. So what is the configuration of these devices? So something like that. So this information module contains everything that is required. So this is defined by your SMI. So we saw so many macros that we have, right? So object type is a macro that defines the object. So these kind of macros that are defined in SMI are used to explain how the information are stored in the network. So this information module contains of three things. That is your MIB and compliance. That's what I was telling you about. So and then the capabilities. So these things will be looking on tomorrow. Before that, I will have to explain how the module macros that we were looking on, right? Module for macros for module, object, and notification. So we have to see all these three things. Then we go for the compliance. Next, first we'll be looking about the module identity. So this module identity is used to specify the information module. So whatever the information that is required. For example, if you are admitted new to the college, if you are joining as first year student, so we get all the details about you, right? So what is your name? What is your residential address? What is your 10th mark, your 12th mark? Then what is the languages that you know? What are you capable of? All the things, like what is the occupation of the parents? And then what is your uh, all the basic details we get, right? So this is called as your information module. So this information module contains all the details that are required by the network. So it is like a administrative kind of a thing. So this administrative kind of data is required when a manager wants to send a request to a agent. So this is how a module identity macro looks like. So this is the name of the macro module identity, and this is your macro keyword. So begin and end used to indicate the ending and the beginning of the macros. So next we have the type notation. So the type contains last updated, organization, contact information, description. So last updated, that is when like how we have a version updation, right? So when was the last update for Java version 5, something like that. So the last updated, and which vendor does it belong to, and what is the contact information, and just a description of this type notation object. So next one is value. So the value can be it can be a revision part. If it is a revision part, you have two things. So one is revision and second one is empty. So this revision part can contain two different values. So one is what kind of revision it is, and whether you don't have a revision. If you have revision, then what kind of revisions it has gone through. So that is given here. So revision value and then description. Suppose if it is empty, okay, there is no nothing, so then you just give it as a empty string. So these are the different values that your revision can have. So you have type, you have a value notation. So in type, you have a revision part. So this revision part can be either contain what kind of revision it is done and or it can be an empty value. So in revision, you have two different values, and if it is empty, you just give the blank space, that is your blank value. So this is about your module identity. And next is an example for the MIB module. Okay, ISI MIB module. So this module will apply this module identity. So you need to specify type value. So what is the type? So in type we have last update, organization, contact information, description, and revision. So this is your last update. So last update was on this particular period. And then what the organization. So this module belongs to Infotech services. So what is the contact information? So this is Mani Subramaniam. That is your author name, and this is just an example, right? So they are given the telephonic number and the fax number and the email on to which you can contact the person. So next you have description and the revision, and this description is for the revision, and this description is for the module. So this is how you have, right? So you have last updated, you have organization, you have contact information, and the description. So next you have revision. So you can either have a revision or the revision can be empty. That is, you need not specify the revision. So here they have specified the version of the revision. So this is how it's just a simple example for a module identity macro. So this is your macro. This macro you are applying for the module. So with the module name is ISI MIB module. So next one is object identity model. So this macro we have seen so many number of times in version 1. So object identity is the name of the macro. Object type macro we have seen in version 1, and object identity is new for us. So object identity, then the name of the, that is keyword for the macro, begin and end. So what is the type? So status, description, refer part. So what will be the status? So status will be current, depreciated, or obsolete. And refer part, what kind of reference that you are going to give. And then you have description. So just description will give you a description of that particular object. So next you have value. So what value this object is going to hold. That is your object identifier. So in this previous example we saw, right? I think I gave it in the picture. So I showed you this one, right? ISO 3. So this is the object identifier value. So likewise, what value this object will going to hold. So if it is org object, then its value is ISO3. If the object is private, its value is internet 4. So that is what is the value notation. So every object will have status, description, and referral part, and the value of that particular object. So this is an example. So is iRouter is the name of the object and its status is current, that is it is still working without any problem, and this is the description for this particular object. So 8 slot IP router in the IP router family, and then reference. So this is from the modem number dated and all those things, and this is the value of the object. So private, enterprise, ISI 1. So this is the example for the object identity macro. So next one is object type macro. So this object type macro, so it is for the router ISI 123. So the syntax is just using a string, the access. So this I told you, right, this is available in version 2, max access, min access. I showed you the SNMP keywords, right? So this maximum you can only read, so you cannot do any other operation. So status, it is current, meaning that it is still working on, and the description the same, an 8 slot IP router, and then the value of this object is ISI router 1. So every object will have to specify uh, type notation, and you'll have to specify the object identity. So object identity, that is object identifier, sorry. This ISI router 1 is the object identifier. So every object will have object identity and object type. So object identity will give you more enhanced details, and object type is related to implementation part. Okay, object type is related to the implementation part, and object identity is related to the more advanced kind of data that we need about the object. And next one is your notification type. So in notification type, this contains a data, sorry, this contains macro that we need to look on when you have an exceptional kind of a thing. So as I told you, if you have a system down, so what happens? So if you have a system up, that is it is able to cope up and it has come back. So what it will do? So all those kinds of things can be specified by the notification type. So we had trap type in version 1, and in version 2 we use the notification type macro. Trap type macro was available in version 1, and in notification type that is available in version 2. So some exception cases. So here the example that they have given us, some threshold value is crossed. So as I told you, the maximum number of value of the counter can be 2 to the power of 32 minus 1, right? So when the value crosses the threshold, so when the counter data type value is more than 2 to the power of 32 minus 1, you need some kind of notification to reset it to 0. So those kind of things can be done by using this macro. And this is the example. Here we have link up. That is, if the network is down, if the device is down, and then after it is okay, after it is, that is, it has troubleshoot itself. So how will it come back? So when it comes back, what are the things you have to do? You have to do. So next, for that we have object. So if index is the argument table that we saw, if you could remember. So if index is the augmented table. So we have a table kind of representation for the managed grouped objects, right? So grouped objects are nothing but objects that are grouped together, and to represent those grouped objects we use this if index table. And then the status, it is still running. Okay, it is now into the running state. So description, a link trap signifies that the entity acting in an agent role recognize that communication link, it has come up. Okay, so uh, it has just troubleshooted itself and it is now available. So this value, object identifier value for this link up is SNMP trap 4. Clear? So next, one more notification, that is cold start. Okay, cold start says that once it is initialized, the values or the configuration of that particular object cannot be changed. Okay, once you provide all the details to the manager, and if the cold start notification comes on, then you cannot change the values or configuration of the particular agent. So the status, it is current, and this is the description. It signifies that acting as an agent is reinitializing itself such that its configuration is unaltered. So you cannot modify it or you cannot change it. So the value for this cold start is SNMP trap 1. So this is the object identifier. So this is all that I have for today. So I'll just give an overview what we saw for today. So today we were seeing about the system architecture for version 2. We have seven messages instead of five. There we have this get bulk request, right? This is used to do a bulk data transfer between the manager and the agent. And then we have this response, and then we have the trap messages. So the remaining things are the same as we saw in version 1. So next we saw the SMI system structure of management information for SNMP version 2. So it contains module definition, object definition, and notification definition. So for every definition we have a particular macro. So module type macro, object type macro, and notification type macro. And then we saw examples for each. So we saw each module, and we had one object that will that object we will apply the macro. So this is what we saw for today. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me. So we are just open for clarifying your doubts. So this is the, just I want to show your syllabus, how much we have covered as of now. So as I told you in the previous classes, I'm just showing you the syllabus. So we are into the second half of your unit 4, that is version 2. So today we are seeing about the structure of management information, right? So next we have MIB. So for version 1 also we have MIB, and for version 2 also we have MIB. Same like how we have for SMI. So SMI we have for version 1 and version 2, right? Same thing. So next we'll have to see the MIB for version 2, then the compactability that I was telling you about. So how version 1 and version 2 are able to cope up with each other. So how the vendors of the different vendors are able to cope up with the different versions of SNMP. So next we will have SNMP version 3. So same for SNMP also, we have to see SMI and MIB. So how you represent the data that you have in the network will differ. Okay, so nothing more changes in the all the versions that we have. So we are into the structure of MIB. So next tomorrow we'll be seeing MIB and then the compatibility with the different versions. So do you have any doubt as of today? Do you have any doubt? And still few people have not submitted your assignment, second assignment. So make sure you submit it by end of the day. So we are not going to extend the time more. So kindly submit your assignment. Sorry, I was logged out by default. So do you have any doubts, students, of the topics that we discussed today? Okay, then thank you. We'll meet in the next class.